Canterbury Tales, General Prologue. One at April with the shore is sota, the drucht of March hath persed to the rota, and bathed every vine in switch liqueur, of which virtue engendered is the flour. One Zephyrus eke with his sweete breath inspired hath in every holt and heath, the tender croppus and the young sun hath in the ram his half course see run. And smalle fowles maken melodie, that sleepen all the nicht with open ee, so pricketh hem nature in her courages, then longen folk to gon on pilgrimages. And Palmeris for to saken strong estrandes to fern hallways, couth in sundry londes, and specially from every sheeres end of England to Canterbury they wend, the holy blissful martyr for to seek, that hem hath holpen when that they were sick. Befell that in that season on a day in Southwark at the tabard as I lay ready to wenden on me pilgrimage to Canterbury with full devout courage, at nicht was come into that hostelry well 29 in a company of sundry folk by aventury fall in a fellowship, and pilgrims were they all that toward Canterbury woulden read. The chambers and the stables were in weed, and well we weren aised at the best. And shortly, when the sun was to rest, so had I spoken with him every one, that I was of her fellowship none, and made forward early for to rise, to take our way there as yow devise. But natheless will I have time and space, ere that I further in this tale pass, methinketh it accordant to reason to tell yow all the condition of each of hem, and so it seemed to me, and which they weren, and of what degree, and eke in what array that they were in, and at a knicht, then will I first begin. Shakespeare's Sonnet 12. When I do count the clock that tells the time, and see the brave day sunk in hideous night, when I behold the violet past prime, and sable curls all silvered o'er with white, when lofty trees I see barren of leaves, which erst from heat did canopy the herd, and summer's green all girded up in sheaves borne on the byre with white and bristly beard, then of thy beauty do I question make, that thou among the wastes of time must go, since sweets and beauties do themselves forsake and die as fast as they see others grow, and nothing 'gainst time's scythe can take defence save breed, to brave him when he takes thee hence. The Lady's Dressing Room. 5 hours, and who can do it lessen, by haughty Celia spent in dressing. The goddess from her chamber issues, arrayed in lace, brocades, and tissues. Strephon, who found the room was void, and Betty, otherwise employed, stole in, and took a strict survey of all the litter as it lay, whereof, to make the matter clear, an inventory follows here. And first a dirty smock appeared, beneath the armpits well besmeared. Strephon, the rogue, displayed it wide, and turned it round on every side. On such a point few words are best, and Strephon bids us guess the rest, but swears how damnably the men lie in calling Celia sweet and cleanly. Now listen while he next produces the various combs for various uses, filled up with dirt so closely fixed no brush could force a way betwixt, a paste of composition rare, sweat, dandruff, powder, lead, and hair, a forehead cloth with oil upon it to smooth the wrinkles on her front. Here alum flour to stop the steams exhaled from sour, unsavory streams, There night gloves made of Tripsy's hide, bequeathed by Tripsy when she died, with puppy water, beauty's help, distilled from Tripsy's darling whelp. Here galley pots and vials placed, some filled with washes, some with paste, some with pomatum, paints and slops, and ointments good for scabby chops. Hard by a filthy basin stands, fouled with the scouring of her hands. The basin takes whatever comes, the scrapings of her teeth and gums, a nasty compound of all hues, for here she spits, and here she spews. But oh, it turned poor Strephon's bowels when he beheld and smelled the towels, begummed, bemaddered, and beslimed, with dirt and sweat and earwax grimed. No object Strephon's eye escapes, here petticoats and frowsy heaps, nor be the handkerchiefs forgot, all varnished o'er with snuff and snot. The stockings, why should I expose, stained with the marks of stinking toes? Or greasy coifs and pinners reeking, which Celia slept at least a week in. A pair of tweezers next he found, to pluck her brows in arches round, or hairs that sink the forehead low, or on her chin like bristles grow. The virtues we must not let past of Celia's magnifying glass. When frightened Strephon cast his eye on't, it showed a visage of a giant, a glass that can to sight disclose the smallest worm in Celia's nose, and faithfully direct her nail to squeeze it out from head to tail. For catch it nicely by the head, it must come out, alive or dead. Why, Strephon, will you tell the rest? And must you needs describe the chest? That careless wench, no creature warn her to move it out from yonder corner, but leave it standing full in sight for you to exercise your spite. In vain the workman showed his wit with rings and hinges counterfeit, to make it seem in this disguise a cabinet to vulgar eyes. For Strephon ventured to look in, resolved to go through thick and thin. He lifts the lid. There needs no more. He smelled it all the time before, as from within Pandora's box, when Epimetha oped the locks, a sudden universal crew of human evils upward flew. He still was comforted to find that hope at last remained behind. So Strephon, lifting up the lid to view what in the chest was hid, the vapors flew from out the vent, but Strephon, cautious, never meant the bottom of the pan to grope, and foul his hands in search of hope. Oh, never may such vile machine be once in Celia's chamber seen. Oh, may she better learn to keep those secrets of the hoary deep, as mutton cutlets prime of meat, which though with art you salt and beat, as laws of cookery require, and toast them at the clearest fire. If from adown the hopeful chops the fat upon a cinder drops, to stinking smoke it turns the flame, poisoning the flesh from whence it came, and up exhales a greasy stench, for which you curse the careless wench. So things, which must not be expressed, when plumped into the reeking chest, send up an excremental smell to taint the parts from whence they fell. The petticoats and gown perfume, which waft a stink round every room. Thus, finishing his grand survey, disgusted Strephon stole away, repeating in his amorous fits, "Oh, Celia, Celia, Celia shits!" But vengeance, goddess never sleeping, soon punished Strephon for his peeping. His foul imagination links each dame he sees with all her stinks, and, if unsavory odors fly, conceives a lady standing by. All women his description fits, and both ideas jump like wits, but vicious fancy coupled fast, and still appearing in contrast. I pity wretched Strephon blind to all the charms of female kind. Should I the queen of love refuse, because she rose from stinking ooze? To him that looks behind the scene, Satira's but some pocky queen, when Celia in her glory shows, if Strephon would but stop his nose, who now so impiously blasphemes her ointments, daubs, and paints, and creams, her washes, slops, and every clout, with which he makes so foul a rout. He soon would learn to think like me, and bless his ravaged sight to see such order from confusion sprung, such gaudy tulips raised from dung.